Okay, this is Clark Kent. I'm the predatory lender here with Sybil Danny. Now, Sybil, you're here at a local cosplay convention. What can you tell us about some of the work you've done in the past and the stuff you have here today?
Oh wow, I don't know. Do you have about 25 hours time? Because if I tell you everything I've done in the past, we'd be here forever. But let me tell you what I did recently, because anybody that's out there that is my fan knows what Sybil Danning has done, probably all 65 of my movies. However, what I've done lately is right back here, okay, which is not bad. This is Tarantino's Grindhouse. I was in Werewolf Women of the SS, and over here, Halloween, Rob Zombie's Halloween, and I was the Nurse Wynn. She's kind of like, remember One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Nurse Ranchid? I was that kind of a nurse, together with here, Malcolm McDowell, who was my doctor. So after that, you know, I just did a little movie called Virus X, which was a great little horror movie. But, you know, after Tarantino and after Rob Zombie, they're a hard act to follow. So right now, I'm working on some of my own projects, which is horror, sci-fi, and action.
Now, you say you worked on a werewolf movie. So would you say you're more Team Edward or Team Jacob?
I would say Team Edward, because I have to tell you, well, you're talking about my classic, which is The Howling 2 with Christopher Lee, and I played, as you know, the first ever werewolf, blonde werewolf queen, Sturba. I have my pictures here with the werewolf and everything. So I have to tell you, I am a huge fan, and probably I'm the only one of my age range, but I'm a huge fan of Twilight. So I have to say, you know, I'm a big Twilight fan, okay?
Of all your movies, what was your favorite movie that you were in?
Well, God, it's so hard to say. I mean, you know, I have my classics like Battle Beyond the Stars, where I played Saint Exmund of the Valkyrie, loved that one. Queen Sturba, I love that. Then I did with Lou Ferrigno, who has come here too, and we see each other all the time. Of course, I played here the Queen in Hercules with Lou, which I love playing. I play a lot of queens, and I like that. But I have to tell you, I mean, if I have to be serious for one moment, then I have to say it's probably the movie that I also raised the money for. It was called Operation Thunderbolt. It was the raid on Entebbe, where I also cast Klaus Kinski in the movie, famous Nosferatu star. And I played Gabriele Tiedemann, which was the Baader-Meinhof group terrorist in that movie. I raised the money, and we were nominated for Best Foreign Film for that movie. So I like that because, you know, my character actually lived, and she wasn't sexy. That was my departure from any kind of a sexy outfit, which my outfits always are sexy, except for the Rob Zombie actually got me into that nurse outfit, not being sexy, and he said specifically, he said to the wardrobe lady, I don't want her looking sexy, so...
Yes, that's kind of a bad thing.
There you go. But you know what, when I actually asked Rob, I said, I want to be in Halloween, and he said, it's already all cast. He says, but I'll think of something, and then he came to me and he said, it's not a big role, but you're the last one that little Mike Myers kills. And I told Rob, I said, you know what? I would play anything you want me to, because I love Rob Zombie's work. He's a wonderful director, and he's a great, great human being. He's just great to work with.
Now, is there, of all your past experiences and stuff, is there a special favorite movie moment that you'd like to tell the folks at home about?
Well, I have to tell you, it's really great. You know, I've done 5 movies with Christopher Lee, so I have to say, working with Christopher, who is an absolute legend in our business, he and I did a movie in, the first movie we did was in Africa. It was called Albino. And his wife was there, and it was so funny because, you know, Christopher loves telling stories. He has the greatest stories, and he can go on forever telling stories about his movies and his experiences, but he doesn't really like to do much of anything else. His wife used to be a model with Chanel, here she was in dirty, dusty Africa, and I said to her, "What are you doing here? You don't come to a dirty place like that." She says, "Darling, they have emeralds here," and that was Rhodesia at that time, which is Zimbabwe today. So she was there. So what we did the whole time, Christopher would sit when we were off. He would tell wonderful stories, and his wife and I, we would gamble, we were playing cards, we were smoking, and we were drinking. All the things that Christopher doesn't do. But he told stories, and we were listening to his stories and playing cards, and it was the most wonderful moment because I don't know, if Christopher's going to do another movie, I'd like to do another movie with him. I actually have a franchise with the Howling 2 writer of all the books, Gary Brandner, and the Howling 2 director, Philip Mora. It's not a Howling because the Howlings have kind of been done to death, but it's another wonderful franchise, and we already have a screenplay, and I'd love to have Christopher Lee in it, and I'm hoping I'll have to go to London to shoot him. He's not traveling much these days, but Christopher is, he's a legend, and he taught me one thing. He said, "Sybil, even if you're covered from hair from top to bottom, like a werewolf, no matter what your role is, always be true to your role. Your fans will love you for it." He's always done it, and I've done that as well.
So if people wanted to find out more information about you, where would they go for that?
Oh, well then, please go to sybildanning.net or go to twitter.com/Sybil Danning.
So in closing, is there any last minute things you'd like to say?
And also Facebook. Also go to Facebook/Sybil Danning, okay? I'd like to just, thank everybody for giving me a table today, because I actually only, as you can see, I wasn't on the website, and a lot of my fans said, "Oh, I didn't know you were going to be here." I came because I wanted to see Scott Campbell. Scott Campbell is my favorite artist. I, in particular, love Danger Girl, so I had to tell him that. And I wanted to talk to him about maybe doing something else because, as you know, I had my own comic book, Black Diamond. And I had to hug Stan Lee because Stan Lee and I have been friends for many years, and we haven't seen each other. Our paths have passed. So I came down today mainly to see Stan Lee, but Stan I would have seen somewhere else, but I don't see Scott Campbell everywhere, so I absolutely, number one, came to see Scott Campbell, and I'm very happy to be here. And then the owner said, "Here, I've got a table for you," and I always in LA everybody has a script under their arm. I always have my pictures in my book, so in my car, so if somebody wants a picture, here they are.
So in closing, this is Clark Kent from the Predatory Lending Network, signing out.